Okay, hold on.
You got it?
Yeah, I forgot to turn this on.
Hello.
Hi.
I got the goods here.
Give me a second. Make it live. You're live.
Ready? Call to order, the zoning and planning, meeting. Call to order, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Board Member Evelyn Cunningham. Board Member Paulette Walker.
Yes.
Vice Chair Gary Schrader.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Anybody want to make a recommend or for the approval of minutes? I forgot. What's the-
Motion. Motion.
A motion.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the meeting. Second.
Okay. Motion first by Board Member Walker, seconded by Board Member Cunningham. Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gary Schrader.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Any additions, deletions, withdrawals, and continuances? No? Guess the next is you guys for the hearing.
Good evening. My name is James Kahn with Keith and Associates, Town Planner. The first item is the public storage. Public storage plat 23, plat 01. It's a self-storage facility. It's being represented tonight with Bohler Engineering.
You have to point it here. Sure. Oh, give me a second. Sorry. It's the same mistake I make all the time. It'll work. Let me put this in. The clicker should work now.
You might want to explain what you told me
Oh, okay.
before they came in.
Yep, this is just a plat, which is a legal record of the site. The site plan and parking and everything has previously been before you.
Yes.
So you've already proved that this is the last piece in the puzzle. Before you get a building permit, you have to have the plat.
Oh, so this is a
And-
continuation from the last storage facility.
This is kind of, yes, this is the last piece for public storage. So this is just, you can see it's just a plain square, but the important stuff is, it has a note on the plat. Let's see if that was on there. It's the first, it's the 2 pages. Second page is actually the drawing. So what the plat has, basically allows the 5-story self-storage facility. It has a plat notes restriction for 210,775 square feet, which is what the site plan had on it. The other part of this is that through DOT and the county review of all the traffic requirements, they set the openings. So there's 2 openings on 31st Avenue. And to guarantee those openings, there's not access lines except at those 2 openings. So there's no access to Pembroke Road. So everything's off the side street. And that's what this plat guarantees where the access is going to be. So the staff recommends approval. It's basically the number 1, signing the plat cover page sealed by the survey and all the owners. And number 2 is that the county has a report they call it the Development Review Report, has all the conditions and recommendations for the project, which had to be satisfied before it can be recorded. And those are the two conditions. This is a fairly simple procedural matter. The county will take it from here and go through the recording process and put it in the public records. And that's the presentation. This is fairly simple. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Mr. Chair, you can open up the floor for any members of the public who wish to speak on this item.
I'll open up the floor for anybody that want, in the public that wants to, say anything. No? Floor is closed.
Thank you.
Now somebody's just gonna make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, now you have the right to, you could deliberate this item, you could make a motion on this item. It's really up to the board members.
You have to make the motion.
No, you said you wanted to, you had anything you want to talk about on
Yeah.
this particular.
Sure. Anybody want to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve this, upon the recommendation of the
And as a recommending body, your motions are to make recommendations to the town commission. So if your desire is to approve this matter, or this item, it would be a motion to make a recommendation of approval to the town commission. It's been stated on the record. If you can restate it if you'd like, or if you'd like, it's already been stated, you could.
All right, so motion made by and seconded by Board Member Cunningham. So Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schrader,
Yes.
motion carries.
If item number 2 up, the
Oh.
parking reduction stuff.
Can we bring up your?
Maybe item number 2 is Ecos Pembroke Park, case 24 PR 03. It's a parking reduction, a waiver from the code, the required parking. MH Broward Limited and Kimley-Horn Associates are the applicants. This is the site here. You're right on the County Line Road, right on, and on the other side is the other side of the city limits. So you're on the city limits on two sides of the roads there. It's a vacant parcel, as you can see. Address is 56th Avenue, County Line Road. Folio number, parcel size is 1.623 acres. Its zoning is business B1, and land use is commercial. So the applicant request is to reduce the parking from 305 spaces to 168. The project is a 10-story building of 150 affordable senior residential units. There's a reason why they're asking for a parking reduction, because the town code is 2 units per space, which in affordable housing projects, especially senior and limited to 1 bedrooms, you don't have that many vehicles per use, which is common in other codes, and the national standards by the Institute of Traffic Engineers, ITE. They have lots of studies that demonstrate all the reduction required. The applicant did a parking analysis, which was included, showing that the reduction of 137 spaces is reasonable on this project. The applicant demonstrated the use of the structure exhibits characteristics that suggest required parking for this development is lower than the zoning code typically mandates for other similar uses. Based on the review of surrounding codes, affordable senior housing, and from the Institute of ITE, the peak anticipated parking demand is projected to be 150 to 152 spaces. The proposed development will provide 168, so they're actually providing more, 10% more than what is required, according to the studies. Site bus lines, they have Broward County bus and Dade County bus lines that are right in the vicinity also. We also had the town traffic consultant review this application, and the recommendation was to approve the study. We also have representative here from that consultant if you had questions. And we recommend approval of the parking reduction request. The approval will be granted on contingent approval of the site plan on September 13th and affordable senior housing development and recordable covenant reflecting reduced parking approval submitted and recorded in the public record. So we just want to guarantee that what they're saying is actually done, and that's just typical to guarantee that that project will remain a senior affordable housing project to justify the parking reduction. And that's the presentation.
What's there now?
It's vacant,
Just vacant?
Just
Nothing
vacant
but
land.
Just parking spots?
nothing. It's vacant land.
Yes, I'm doing.
I can go back to a picture.
I have a question. With their billing, when they get the billing on it, the residence that's going to be there, how many parking are there allowing each resident?
Um,
For a
I-
family.
I'll have the applicant answer that question. It's a detailed question, but it's not 2 per space, which is the code. It's less than 2.
So you're giving
So-
only 1 parking per house?
Yes, they're actually giving me slightly more than 1, because they're 1-bedroom units. These are senior affordable housing that typically don't have multiple vehicles.
Sure, yeah.
And no guests?
Sometimes a couple, a wife and husband live in there, so, and they drive both cars.
Well, there's always that possibility. They have extra spaces. Some people won't have any cars. And they have the bus lines. The applicant might even, in the future, provide, a van and take people places. That's typical also. I'm not saying they're committing to that, but I mean, that's very typical in senior facilities that even the county has projects facilities where they can have shuttle services also, so.
Now, this 5610 county line, is that the end of Pembroke Park Town?
Yes,
Exact end?
exact. And on the other side of the street is West Park.
Okay.
To the south is Miami-Dade County.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
So we have multiple family to the east of us and, community facilities to the north.
Mr. Chair, the applicant's representative is here as well, if you'd like to
Okay.
So let me-
allow them to.
I would like to clear up the parking of it, because my
Well,
question.
who would answer
Let me
that?
talk first.
My question and concern is if they're reducing the parking, and I do understand that some people don't have cars or whatever it is, but if you do have a husband, wife, or whatever, and they have 2 cars, is that going to be a problem for that second car? Are you gonna have guest parking for people, or is just strictly 1 parking per apartment or whatever it's going to be?
The applicant is here and they could describe in detail more. It's on the site plan. We also have the traffic consultant here, Arch, and he can talk about the studies in general and how that might work and what happens. And that question probably comes up in all the studies. ITE's done dozens of studies, and they take all that into account when they come up with this. It's a statistical analysis above the planar grade. Now, if the engineers have that all worked out with all these studies, they go to all these units that have already been built, and they do actual traffic counts and have the spaces. They do studies, and they come up with what they believe is senior centers do. So that's how these numbers come about. And this is typical. Your question is a good one, but this happens on 99% of all senior centers that they ask for a reduction in parking. So with that, if we'd like to have the, well, I had that was the end of my presentation. If you want to approve it, we had two conditions to guarantee that there's recordable documents to enforce the parking that's being requested.
Are we allowed to know that? Are the board members allowed to know that?
Well, they will work out an agreement with the town and the town attorney on a parking agreement.
No, I'm talking about the affordable part.
Oh, yes, they can explain to that this type of project, it's contingent upon having a percentage of the units affordable, and they can describe how this whole project works.
Scarlett's gonna speak, Jim, and then I think a few of us want to speak.
Good evening. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Sorry, good evening.
Well, this is to change it.
Thank you. Hi, good evening. My name is Scarlett Perez. Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry, can you
you
turn
hear me?
on your?
I think it's off.
There? Can you hear me now? Oh, sorry. Good evening. Thank you guys for having us. My name is Scarlett.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Sorry, my name's Scarlett Perez. I'm with McDowell Housing Partners. We are the developer that is proposing this project before you guys right now. Just a little bit about us. You know, I just want to let you. We're an affordable housing developer. It's scratchy. Does that sound better?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So we are an affordable housing developer that does affordable housing across the state. We are headquartered in Miami. We have a development currently right now, 410 senior developments that are going in the town of the city of Pembroke Pines. We're proposing this one in the town of Pembroke Park right now. This development has currently been funded with state funding and local Broward County funds. So it's a fully affordable, age-restricted development. So this is only for seniors 62 plus that are income burdened, meaning they are between 30% to 80% average median income of Broward County. So it's not just sort of everyone that, you know, can apply. You have to make sure you meet the income requirements. Additionally, part of our reduction request is HUD, which is the, United States Government Housing Urban Development. Sorry, I think I messed up their acronym, but basically the overall housing governing authority. They have general prescriptions for all one-bedroom units. So this development is 151 bedrooms. They have a maximum of 2 actual occupants that can live. It could be, an elderly married couple, or it could be just, whomever, just 2 people living in this building. On average, generally all 1 bedrooms, as the parking study stated, have 1 car. But to the board's question about if there is a couple or that has 2 cars, it's a case-by-case basis, especially if they meet the income requirements and our property manager is evaluating them and they happen to have 2 cars and we have the availability. It's a lot of factors. It's not just, you apply and you have 2 cars and we don't have the space. Sorry, you're not. It's more than that. So essentially, we work with the tenants and the seniors that are going to be walking into this building and living there and cohabitating to make sure that all the amenities and essentially parking that we provide for them is adequate, obviously within appropriate fair housing standards. So one other thing that I would like to know as well, the reason we're asking for this reduction is we want to make sure that we have enough ample space where it's not just a giant block that where, no one wants to see an eyesore of this building. Our goal as McDowell Housing Partners is to make sure that just because it's affordable, it doesn't make we're cutting any corners, making sure that we're not, just providing something. That we want to make sure that the tenants that live here, specifically lower income seniors who are often an underserved and overlooked demographic, have a quality of place to live where they can afford to live. And that's our ultimate goal with this development. This parking reduction is allowing us to essentially offset certain space requirements to be able to potentially provide, some sort of outdoor patio. And we're not there yet in the site development process, but this is the first step in that parking reduction. And obviously also we engaged in a third-party engineer who provided the traffic impact analysis to allow us to show actual data and not just a request that is not founded with any backup. So I don't know if you guys have any questions.
This is the actual picture of what it's going to look like.
Yes. And if you proceed, and I apologize, I haven't even gone through the actual presentation. I gave an overview. You'll see that we have developments all across the state. As I stated, we have one down the road, Douglas Gardens. So that is in conjunction with Miami Jewish Health, who's a partner in that. Miami Jewish Health is potentially going to be a partner on this, and our goal is to provide services, some sort of community space or services for lower income seniors. As previously stated, it is right at the edge of Pembroke Park. It's a vacant plot of land right now. To the north of us, we have the church, and to the right is additional multifamily. As I previously stated as well, it currently has close to $20 million in state funding and Broward County funds. So this isn't something that is going to be a cost burden to the town of Pembroke Park. It's essentially something that's already been financed, and it is currently being financed with other outside sources. So it's really just a value add to the Pembroke Park community. If you can also see, this is another rendering of what it looks like coming from 56th Ave. If you're looking towards the back of it, that is the current parking structure that we have. It is a, slightly smaller plot, so that's why we have to do an elevated structure, but it's something that we feel is adequate, and it's backed through our traffic impact analysis. These are some of the finishes. So part of our goal too is, we're not just building a building, as I mentioned. It's making sure that the finishes and everything is it's akin and rivals any market rate development. So you have stainless steel appliances, essentially Energy Star appliances, and making sure that it's properly and adequately designed to make sure that you're not just giving them subpar housing. And the unfortunate stigma that has come with affordable housing is that you just provide subpar housing, but that's not McDowell's way, and that's not what we ultimately, bring forth to the table. And we take pride and we offer you guys and invite you guys to go down the road to Pembroke Pines and go look at our development. We offer everyone that opportunity because what we bring forth is we're very proud, and we take pride in that we're doing something good for the community that is of quality to any market rate developer. So ultimately, as previously stated, our request is to reduce our parking spaces to 168. This was recommended through our current site development DRC submission, which is processed for our site development permit. And right now, we also have Kimley-Horn, who provided the traffic impact study, and we believe that the data backs it up. And just to give you guys a sort of an overall view, this is also something that we want to make sure the ultimate goal is to get tenants and seniors in the building. It does nothing for us if we propose this project and we don't actually put shovels in the ground and get this built, for another, say, 5 years. So our tentative timeline right now, pending financial closing, is we want to have shovels in the ground by summer of this year. Our proposed, it's a 10-story building, so with our general contractor, who's our partner, we think that ultimately we're going to have construction completion by 2027. It's, roughly 2 years, a little bit, considering additional sort of site work. And ultimately, we want to make sure that we can open these doors and get, much needed housing for our seniors, and especially seniors of the town of Pembroke Park who are in desperate need, and the demand is definitely there. And then ultimately, we've been in conversations with the city manager and the town commission to not just provide this affordable housing development, but also provide an updated monument sign for the town of Pembroke Park. Make sure that it's, it's aesthetically pleasing and something that, all residents take pride in when they see that sign and they know that, they're entering the town of Pembroke Park, and have our development be sort of a marker that, you guys are here. And additionally, we are also contributing to the McTire, to the McTire Park Fund to, provide much needed improvements, and then it's part of our contribution and our willingness to be partners with the town of Pembroke Park. That's it, and I apologize. My other partner here, Eduardo Turan, who is heading up the Douglas Gardens development down the road in Pembroke Pines. He's also working with me on this development, and he also definitely invites you. He'll give you guys a tour of the development. It's due to, when is it? In summer. It's due to open up in summer, and that's also 410 units for all seniors within a lower AMI of bracket. So thank you guys for your time.
It answers my question. As long as the seniors are not stressed that they know what it is, I'm good.
Now, is this open only to Pembroke Park residents?
We cannot limit it to anyone. It's state guidelines based on our type of funding.
It's open for anybody.
Yes, but we have ideas of potential. We will have preferences, but we can't ultimately limit anyone so long as it's a senior that meets our income requirements and state guideline requirements.
My idea would be that there would be a lot of people applying.
Absolutely.
If you know that place on 441 in Johnson,
Yes.
they had a
I
lot
did that one.
But if it's the state, it's not, the city can't say just,
Yes.
it's not Pembroke
So
Park.
we can advertise her for.
Yeah, but we can have sort of pre-leasings as we get closer to finalization of construction, where we have recommendations. We can't ultimately limit and not allow anyone not from the town to apply, but we can take that into consideration.
So do you think you would possibly have to have a lottery because you got so
Yes.
many requests? Or?
Ultimately, yes, but that depends on the compliance from the state. They have specific regulations. So there's stipulations on giving us funding, has their stipulations on how you actually lease up tenants. So, and that is a whole, other,
Different guys.
yes, correct. Come up there. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. I just want to add that.
Please state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Eduardo Turan with McDowell Housing Partners. I just want to note that the staff's traffic engineer, recommends this for approval after reviewing all of our reports and data that we've provided. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm sorry?
We got that from the beginning.
Perfect. Perfect.
My question is answered.
All right, sit down.
Thank you for your time.
There's another question that you said, like the two cars that she was saying, like the two cars. If, they said they will work with the tenant. What guarantee do they have?
Well, see, what she was saying, which I understand, when I'm understanding now, they're letting the seniors know upfront. So it's not something that you will just be approved for, and all of a sudden at the last minute.
Correct.
Oh, no, we don't have parking. So, as long as they know upfront what they have.
Correct. And to clear up, as generally speaking, as we get closer to finishing construction and COing, we start advertising. We set up websites. We provide all the information and all of the federal housing guidelines and FHA guidelines to make sure that every tenant that comes to apply knows ultimately what is being offered and all the, not restrictions, but all the certain parameters with the development.
Again, what were the units versus the parking spaces?
It's 150 one-bedroom, one-bathroom units, and then we're providing 168 parking spaces.
How many parking spaces was here before?
305, because the current town of Pembroke Port's land of
They're-
First, they're going to use it for something else or in some space?
No, there's nothing there now.
there's nothing there.
Remember, it's just
It's vacant.
so it's just a plain parking space. Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think it's a parking lot.
Yes, it's reading looks good and the plan and the plan and the amenities, everything looks good.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair,
So,
may you open up the floor for members of the public who may wish to speak on this item?
anybody in the public like to speak about this development? No? Floor closed?
Thank you.
So it's just a matter of making a motion again?
Once again, the board has the ability to discuss this item, deliberate the item, and then if a member so chooses, they could make a motion on the item as well.
Anybody want to discuss it between us?
There's nothing to discuss, it's already, there's nothing to discuss. Everything will go this time.
What exactly are the wording for what we're approving?
Mr. Chair, right now what the commission, what the board is considering is the item that's before it, which is a parking reduction application. So a motion would be a motion concerning this parking reduction application.
So I make a motion to approve the
Or-
parking reduction on this, for this application.
And it would be a motion to make a recommendation for approval
Yeah,
to the town commission.
Subject to the two
the
recommendations.
application.
And is this subject to staff's two recommendations that they had, two conditions? There were two conditions that staff had presented at the beginning of the, it was Mr. Khan's presentation. It was the declaration of restrictive covenants and the, what was the second one, James?
Recording.
And right, and the approval of the site development plan dated September 13th, 2024. If you wish to move forward with your recommendation of approval, you may do so and just make it subject to satisfaction of the conditions that staff presented as well.
So all of
Subject to conditions of the town?
Yeah, of staff's recommendation or subject to staff's recommendation as well. You can make a recommendation of approval on this item. And that recommendation of approval, you could say on the record, includes staff's recommendations
So I don't have to go in this.
and conditions. No.
Cite this stuff. Okay. All right, so I'm making a recommendation to the commission to approve the site recommendation.
The parking
for
reduction,
parking, reduction.
yeah, with staff's conditions.
Staff conditions.
Understood.
I second it.
Motion made by Board Member Cunningham and seconded by Board Member Walker. Board Member Walker?
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham? Vice Chair Schrader?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. Good seeing you.
Yes. No, you haven't done a motion. You still have an item, discussion items?
Any discussion items?
So the
Who wants to make a motion for adjournment? Make a motion to quit? What the meeting?
Not to quit, to end the meeting.
you have to say it.
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Oh, I second it.
Okay. Just that's it.
That's it, all in favor?